trying to think, oh my God, we've got royalty in the house. Let me behave.
Yes, okay. Today we're going to be observe protocol, decorum, ladies, decorum. What happened to Boss Queen? Boss Queen, are you frozen?
Oh, hello.
I think see her blinking.
She went frozen. Oh yes, I can see her blinking now too.
I am blinking. Yes, I'm not frozen.
She's alive.
Not.
She's alive. Okay, Queen Ash is the super host with the mostest today, looking gorgeous with her purple eyewear. Take it away.
Thank you, Queen D. Firstly, let's probably introduce ourselves, Queens, starting with Queen D.
Okay, before we do, can we all do like a pearl check, please, ladies, to the camera?
I have them on my crown too, actually.
I tried to be decent, very, very decent, demure. Very demure.
You always look amazing, dear. You always look fabulous.
Thank you so much. So are you.
Okay, I'll start introducing myself. Of course, my name is Danelle Mulwa Murphy. I'm the founder and host of Live Queens and Mrs. Confidence at Africa, UK, and Ireland 2023. Happy to see you here, my lady. We've been waiting. We are so excited. Welcome to Live Queens.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's an absolute pleasure to be here.
Oh.
I've been looking forward to it myself, actually, for quite a while.
Thank you, my lady.
Boss Queen, over to you.
Hello, hello. I go by the name Brittany Oulo, also known as a Boss Queen. Yeah, that's it for today.
Hi, Bo.
Thank you.
Just like that.
I'm gonna okay. Oh my God! And Miss Youthful Glow 2023 and Infinite. Actually, the one and only.
Did we forget that one?
Sorry, it's not that I didn't think about it. I always find like introducing yourself so long, and I'm just like, oh, let me just be demure. One or two things. The rest, if people are interested, they shall Google me.
Hey, oh my God.
Actually, Googling is not the best idea because when I Google myself, I actually come out as a model and makeup artist, but I am not a makeup artist, but oh well. Yeah.
But you're a model.
But you look amazing and look at your makeup today. Who knows? Maybe in the next life.
Maybe in the next life. Thank you, Boss Queen. So my name is Ashley Chingwaro. I'm the second Princess of Africa UK Pageant and Empowerment Programs of 2023. I am the founder of Sparkle of Hope Charity Foundation, and I am a Live Queen. And many more titles, but we shall not go there today. Our amazing, lovely guest, would you please introduce yourself, my lady?
Of course. So, hello everyone, hello audience. I am Lady Rukhsar Almahraqh. I am a British royal titled lady here in the United Kingdom and Northern Ireland. So I sort of do a lot with charities. I use my title mainly for charity work, actually. I know a lot of people use their titles in other ways, but myself, I use them for basically charity-based support. So yeah, I support a lot of different charities. I go out there and attend different events and give talks and give speeches, and also Parliament as well. I've been to Parliament a couple of times. Just to sit. I haven't spoken in Parliament as of yet, but just to sit in debates and listen to what's going on and things. You know, it's very exciting to see what's happening in our country.
Wow. Fantastic. Amazing. You know, when you started talking about the Parliament, I remembered how I once upon a time wrote down councillor something, and then before I knew it, I had 4 or 5 councillors in my phone book, and then it became to mayors, and then I said to myself, you know what, I'm actually going to be sitting in Parliament one day. So I think that's actually something that is about to happen, considering now I do have people in the house that I'm in touch with. So wow, that's amazing. So yeah, my first question would be, tell us about yourself, who you are, where you're from, and a bit about your background.
Perfect. So I introduce myself as Lady Rukhsar. I always use my title in sort of formal speaking, and when I meet people for the first time, I lead with my best foot forward. So how I would start off is talking about my upbringing and where I come from both parents' sides. So my mother's family come from a long line of British aristocracy. So my great-great-grandfather was Lord William Berry. So that is where I get my title from. Now, my dad's side of the family, however, I am mixed on dad's side also. So my dad's side are Egyptian and Asian, Indian, Punjabis. So I have a whole mix of different backgrounds. Unfortunately, I'm not, in touch with my dad's side of the family, my father's side, but I do represent my mother's side of the family with my titleship and everything else that I do. Was there anything else that I should mention?
No, whenever you feel like stopping, you can stop. We were already all ears. I could see Queen D going, like
You see, it's ever so strange to me. Sorry? I was just saying, it's ever so strange to me, even now. I've had my title for quite some time and I attend a lot of things, but talking about it, I still get little hot flushes and I get all nervous and things like that.
Oh, bless
you.
No, but you are a pro.
Yeah.
You are a pro at it. Do not worry about that. Queen D.
I try my best. Much preparation goes into preparing speeches and such. So.
Oh yeah, I remember
yes.
yesterday you were preparing a speech, and all of a sudden we were all told, "Okay, now my life is over. Like I need to get back to business." But yeah, I like that.
I had to just go. I had to leave because I already had 3 pages of things written down, but I needed to shorten it. So I needed to take parts out that I liked and then discard of other parts of it. So it is a very difficult challenge sometimes.
I do agree. It takes me weeks to do just one speech, but yeah. Queen D, over to you. Any questions for our lovely lady?
Yeah, I'll have a look here just on the audience. Lots of very excited audience here, Lady Rukhsar. And can I just say, if somebody told us maybe a couple of years ago that you're going to have a royal on a live talking to African women about African things and British things, nobody would ever have believed it. I think today is a testament that our society is changing. Our society is really integrating, it's diversifying, and only good can come out of that. So can I just say kudos to you for doing the work that you do and extending yourself to possibly a group of population who may not have thought they would meet a royal or even talk to somebody who's a lady. I really applaud you, and we really appreciate you. I'll have a couple of, yeah, I'll have a look at a couple of comments here on the live. Like I said, a lot of our regulars are here. Brex, our IT manager and one who keeps us in order, is here. He's very excited to be here. Norman Official says, hello, Queen, welcome. And Tigom is here, of course, as always. And a fellow live queen, Queen Khadija, who's traveling and sort of mid-transit, managed to find a little bit of time to stop and watch the live. We appreciate you, Queen Khadija. She's on there. And she is doing the African thing. She's like, ah, la, 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 la,
I love doing that.
And Queen Rio, who's preparing for her finals in November for Miss Caribbean and Commonwealth, is here as well joining us. Thank you. And Queen Khadija says, looking fabulous, Queen D. I think we're all looking fabulous tonight. And Queen Rio is just sending love hearts there to all of us. I think Lady Rukhsar, that's when you were just waiting to come in, you were sending lots of love there, lots of hearts. Kingfisher Couture, thank you so much for coming in. Of course, Kingfisher, Mr. Kingfisher now is a friend of the brand, a friend of Africa UK pageant, and he is going on a beautiful journey where he's just showcasing his work and using his talents to just give back. Welcome, Kingfisher. And Alfred, of course, is here. Happy, hello, we see you. Don't worry, Kingfisher, you're just on time. You say I'm late. I'm sorry, you're not late. You're just on time. And Queen Rio says, you all look beautiful. Tigom says, everyone looking very demure, very cutesy, definitely not doing too much.
Thank you.
Oh God. Oh, and let me see who else is here. There was a question there. Oh, I was just Live Queens was just posting there. We in the presence of British royalty. And Brex says, "Good evening, Your Highness." I think that's to you, my lady. And Queen Z, who is Miss Charity 2024, says, "Wow, beautiful Queens." Um, and Princess Z says, of course, hello, Your Highness. Everybody's just curtsying and bowing, Lady Rook. So I think it's gonna be a beautiful life today. And Queen Khadija says, hello, Lady Rook. So looking glorious, like an angel. Mashallah. Of course, we all
Thank
agree. I'm gonna
you
jump.
so much.
So lots of love here for you. I'm gonna jump on to my question here, Queen Ash, if you don't mind.
Of course, go for it.
Yeah. So we've heard a little bit about your history, where you come from, where the title comes from, Lady Rukhsar. So let's go down to the heartwarming stuff. So you are very vocal about your battle with kidney disease, with dialysis and kidney transplants. Do you want to maybe take us through that journey? Because you're a very young lady, how you found out, how it affected your life, and even now being a transplant recipient, how it has shaped your life and how it's changed your life for the future.
Of course, yeah. So we'll start right from the beginning, I suppose. So I was actually born with end-stage renal failure. So I'm not too sure. I'm going to try and not use full medical terminology here because some people in the audience might not know. But I had a disease called PKD, which is polycystic kidney disease. And that was detected very, very early on. I think I was around a couple of hours old, I believe. And they knew initially that something was wrong the same day as I was born. So they ran tests and things like that. And the hospital where I was born, they actually gave up on me, and they said to my parents that you must bring in your religious people to read your daughter her last rites. They didn't think that I was going to make it through the night. But my mother, I am sitting here today in the position that I'm in, all because of her. She fought and fought and fought tirelessly to have me transferred to a specialist unit, and she won that battle.
Wow.
So I always give many, many thanks to my mother for her strength and her power and commitment to fighting to keep me alive. So I was transferred to a specialist unit where they did more extensive treatments and tests and things. And that's when they discovered that, I had a serious kidney disease. Because at the hospital I was born at, they didn't really specialize in that, and they didn't have any sort of, specialist surgeons or anything there. So I was transferred to a pediatrics unit, of course, because I was a baby, and I had different operations and things throughout my childhood. Now, I've been on 2 different forms of dialysis treatment. So I was on CAPD, which is peritoneal dialysis, which I did at home, actually. So my mother did a lot of the care there when I was a child. And then I received my first kidney transplant in 2020. Oh, no, I didn't. Yes, 2010, actually, I received my first kidney transplant, which unfortunately wasn't successful, and it had rejected. So thereafter, once that kidney had rejected, I went on to hemodialysis treatment, which is the blood form of dialysis. I remained on that form of dialysis for a very, very long time, until recently, actually. So I now have my second and perfectly functioning kidney, which I received back in 2022. So I've recently just celebrated my 2nd year anniversary of transplantation. But what I also wanted to mention is, with kidney disease and with transplantation in particular, it is something that people out there, especially, within different ethnic backgrounds and things, it's not widely known of. It sort of becomes sort of like a taboo subject, if you will. there's a lot of misconceptions behind post-transplantation also. A lot of people believe that once we have a kidney transplant, that's it, we're cured. But in effect, transplantation is not a cure. It is just a way for us to have better quality of life for a longer period of time to what we would have had originally. So that's also something else that, you know, myself and my mother has had to sort of come to terms with along the way. That perhaps it's not a cure and it is just to give me more time in this world. But I did vow after receiving this second transplant that I have this new life. I will not sit around quietly and do nothing. I will use my voice and I will use the power and strength that I have to better other people's lives. And that's what I've done ever since.
Wow.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for being so vulnerable and honest with us, Lady Rukhsar. Somebody just saying in the audience that kidney disease is very painful disease. You know, I've had the experience myself of taking care of patients with renal failure and whatnot. It literally changes your life. You know, you before you think of going on holiday or visiting somewhere, you need to figure out, do they have a dialysis center close to where I'm going? Because this is a full-time job. This is 3 times a week, sometimes 4 times a week. And I'm so glad that you have emerged on the other side victorious, and the kidney disease has not taken away your kindness. It hasn't taken away your humanness, and instead you actually want to just do good for the world. And of course, we had a chance to celebrate your second kidney anniversary with you. I think you were on the live that day. So, and
Yes.
it's looking very good. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. I'm going to go back to Queen Ash at this age.
Thank you so much, Queen D. So obviously, I think I started talking to you after my kidney research charity project I did. But how did you become a kidney research brand ambassador?
So I became an ambassador for Kidney Research UK quite recently, actually. It's something that I was always passionate about, and I've always supported the charity. But I thought that with my titleship, I could push it further into places where it is not known of, and, you know, really get help that is needed out there. Because Kidney Research UK do wonderful things, of course. But unless you're in the know, or unless you have connections with somebody that knows about them, I mean, even now, the ambassadors are doing work now trying to get into renal units and to give out resources and things for the staff and also the patients. The problem we're facing currently is that not a lot, believe it or not, of renal units are aware of Kidney Research UK. They get it mixed up with Kidney Care UK, which is another charity. So Kidney Research UK, although they're a massive charity, they're not known of within renal units. And it's something that we're seeing a lot of recently. So we're just trying to get in contact with them and push forward our cause. But yes, I became a Kidney Research ambassador quite recently. And all I did was reach out to them. They knew of me anyway, because I'd supported them throughout my whole royal journey, of course. And they were delighted to have me on board as an ambassador. Wow. I think it was within my first week of an ambassador, actually. I did some work with the Queen Elizabeth Hospital in Birmingham, because I went there for a visit, of course, to see my transplant team. And I noticed there was just no resources for patients. There was no posters, no leaflets, nothing. So I jumped straight on the phone to the head of the ambassador team, and I let them know, look, we need help here. We need some posters, resources, and, you know, perhaps some stationery for the staff and things like that. And I got them out to them within 1 week.
Wow. Wow. Well done to you, though. I think that's the thing that we need to work on, like just getting into a place and seeing what's not there and then make the change. Like, we are the change. Amazing.
Yes,
well
of course.
done, Your Highness. Boss Queen,
thank you so
over
much.
to you, my darling.
Thank you so much, Queen Ashley. Yeah, I'm just listening. I'm wow, impressed. You know, like yeah, there's people who would you know, would actually be home and pity themselves about small illnesses like a cough, I mean, sometimes, or, you know, or you can be a go-getter and go out there and make a change. And I'm really impressed. Thank you so much for sharing your journey with us. My message, or my question will be, what message do you hope to convey through your role as a brand ambassador?
One big main message to patients at all stages of kidney failure, even the family members that are supporting the patients through their journey at whatever stage of the disease that you're at, never give up. Times may seem dark. The illness is not forgiving. It is very painful, and we have to endure so many challenges along the way. But there is light at the end of every single dark tunnel. Around every single dark corner, there is light to be found. Have perseverance and hold on tight. Because one day, I use this word, and I've used this word for many years, and that is break the chains. Because with kidney disease, you feel as if you're restrained. Well, I certainly did. So I always use the terminology break the chains. So I say to other fellow patients, again, around every dark corner, there is light to be found, and then ultimately you will break those chains that have held you back all this time.
Wow.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Back to you, Queen Ashley.
Thank you, Boss Queen. So obviously you spoke about the challenges, like there's always going to be challenges in everything that we do. Could you tell us about your challenges that you faced during your recovery and how you overcame them?
Of course, I mean, with kidney failure and kidney disease in general, there are many, many obstacles that come in your way. I mean, as a child, I wasn't the same as other children. I couldn't participate in certain activities that they could. I was held back in that sense. And then in my teen years, I wanted to excel like my peers were. I wanted to go on to do different career paths and things like that. But again, my illness held me back because my main passion after I left school was to work with children. And I did for a very short period of time. And then I was told that I had to leave that profession because I'd had the first kidney transplant at that time. So my transplant team were concerned that if I continued to work with children and I were to get knocked in the stomach or, came into like a collision with a child of some sort, then my kidney would have been at risk. So I had to leave that career path. And then my second would have been makeup and hair and beauty and things like that. But then once I pursued that career, I was then told that I couldn't do that either because of working with chemicals within hairdressing and things like that. And that's when I realized that, my gosh, this is really taking over my life. How can I best overcome this? And how can I fight back for my own mental health? For my own mental health and for my own well-being. So I thought about it long and hard. And then what I tried to do was sort of personally come to terms with things within me, but also allow my voice to be heard about my frustrations and about ways that, because I believe if you stay quiet, it can sort of weigh you down even more. So what I've always tried to do is speak out and use the voice that I have about these concerns. So that is one way that I've sort of used myself being a human being and used my voice to overcome my obstacles. But the biggest one for me has obviously been the recovery after transplantation, because the recovery after organ transplantation is very, very long and tiresome and severe at times. I mean, my first kidney transplant was not a success, and my recovery for that was a very, very long and painful process. This one, however, has been a complete breeze. This kidney that I've had was from an altruistic donor, which is a live, non-related donor who comes forward and wishes to give the gift of life to someone. So the kidney that I have now must have been almost a completely perfect match, because what happened was I had very specific donor antibodies previously from my previous transplanted organ. So they were concerned that if I did receive a second transplant, that they may run the risk of the antibodies attacking the new organ and then the kidney rejecting again. But what seems to have happened, strangely, they don't know how, but the antibodies remained, and after, say, about 3 months, they noticed something very strange was happening, and that was that the kidney had sort of hidden itself and disguised itself as a native organ. So the antibodies hadn't recognized this new kidney as a foreign organ. So it had hidden itself, essentially. And what had happened is that the antibodies started to die off and deplete. So now I have no antibodies.
Wow.
So this kidney is fighting strong.
Clearly made for you, to be honest. That is really,
Exactly.
Wow.
yeah, it's very touching. It's
is.
like God wanted you to be here, regardless of what. So nice to hear, honestly. Glad having you here.
Thank you so much.
Lady Rukhsar, there's a couple of questions here just following your answer in the audience. Norman officials, welcome. Thank you for being here. Ask the question, please, can you save our lives from this disease? Can you explain? I suppose maybe he means for somebody who's not born with it, for example, what kind of signs and symptoms are there? What kind of things do you look out for? Because it is a bit of a silent disease, unfortunately.
It is, yes, it is one of the most deadliest silent killers among all populations in all sorts of, different backgrounds, different countries. It is something that is very, very silent. But what I will say to that person is that, to prevent kidney disease from happening, essentially. I mean, I am not a medical professional. I always say that when I'm talking about this topic. I'm not a medical professional, but the main things that we can do to preserve kidney health: lower our intake of salt, also try and eat vegetables and be kind to our bodies with our diets. And, the biggest one, drink plenty of water. Drink plenty of water, because water is what is needed to filter out all the toxins that pass through our kidneys and to keep it healthy and flush everything through. So main three I always say is diet, lower your intake of salt, and continue to drink plenty of water. Hydrate yourselves. But in terms of information on symptoms and things, I do have a lot of that posted over on my Instagram. So I think he's one of my followers anyway, so I will direct him to those posts just so that he can have a proper look.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Lady Rukhsar. Back to you, Queen Ash.
Thank you, Queen D. Boss Queen, would you have a question for our lady?
Yes. What advice would you give to someone who is facing a similar health challenge?
What I will say is that everybody's journey is different. So my advice to someone who may be going through similar or the same journeys is just, again, have belief, self-belief, and also have perseverance. Be strong. And just know, like I said before, that there is light at the end of every darkness. But also, along the way, there are things that you're going to have to change about your lifestyle. There are a lot of things I had to change, essentially, in terms of, again, my diet was not perfect. My intake of water was not perfect, because transitioning from a dialysis patient to then a transplant patient, your fluid intake is restricted on dialysis. Whereas on a transplant, you're encouraged to drink so much more. So there are things that will change in your life, but just, hang in there, persevere with it.
Thank you so much.
And also, sorry, may I just add one more thing to that? I'm so sorry. And that is that there is new things that are happening, new research, new things that are happening behind the scenes that not everyone knows of. And the type of transplant that I had is something new that's happening. Altruistic donation is something that's not widely known of, and it is only just coming into limelight within British public now. So yeah, again, to someone who's going through similar or the same, there are new medicines to sort of slow down the progress of kidney disease that are coming out. Tolvaptan is one of them. I attended an event actually last week, and I spoke about that during our ambassadors meeting. And yeah, there's research, there's new medicines that are coming out. So just persevere. There are new and brilliant things that are happening for all of you.
Fantastic. There's somebody here who put a message there. What's chronic kidney disease and what are its most common causes? I think you talked a little bit about here, Lady Rukhsar, but I know in our Afro-Caribbean community, it's very much got to do with uncontrolled hypertension. We are seeing a lot of new young diagnosed people with hypertension, resistant to maybe current medication, diabetes, or being sort of pre-diabetic diet, like Lady Rukhsar said there. And of course, like we said earlier, it's usually a very silent diagnosis by the time for me as an emergency physician, by the time I found out about it, it's so late. The patient is pre-dialysis or the patient is needing a kidney already. And so those are sort of the two big things. It's just uncontrolled chronic disease. The first thing it hits is the kidneys. Loads and loads of signs, but it could be signs like swollen feet or just your whole body swelling up, generalized itchiness, fatigue, and just feeling extremely tired. So those are sort of just the early signs. The importance of, especially, you know, Afro-Caribbean community. If I see an African gentleman in my emergency unit today, as horrible as it sounds, I usually add 20 years to their age, because that's sort of the risk that they usually have compared to their non-African counterparts. So very important to have your GP, very important to have your yearly checks, very important to just monitor your blood pressure, your sugar, and of course, like Lady Rukhsar here said, lifestyle is super, super important. But like I said, just go on to Lady Rukhsar's page, because there's a lot of resources just about renal failure and dialysis and all of that. Getting back to the fun stuff, I forgot to read Queen Khadija's comment here on the audience. She was saying, can you tell us all about your medals and your crown and your lapels, please?
Oh, of course. Where should I start? No. So these top ones here, the two medals. So I have the Platinum Medal for Queen Elizabeth II. And then I have the Coronation Medal of King Charles there, and those are given to anyone who gives service, personal service to the crown, such as, you know, armed forces, navy, royal titled people, all of that. So those are those two. And then here I have the Royal Family Order. Now only ladies wear these. So this is the brand new Royal Order of King Charles, and this is very, very beautiful. It's also very heavy. And then below that, I have Her Majesty's one just there, Queen Elizabeth's one. And then my sash is the Royal Victorian Order sash. So you have to go through sort of it. The Royal Order sash and the Grand Cross here are only given to members of like lineage backgrounds who have given years of service to the crown. Now with me, I only had my title for just under a year when I received mine, but that's personally because my family line already had so many years behind them, which I felt very, very cheeky for, of course, because I believe we all have to work for everything. But yes, that's the sash, the order sash that we have, and then the Grand Cross there. And then at the bottom of the sash, there is then another Grand Cross attached with a bow. Yes, all are basically given for personal service to the crown.
Thank you. You're looking very much bejeweled today, Lady Rukhsar.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And then all of my, as I was telling, I had a conversation with Princess Ash, actually, that a lot of my tiaras and a lot of my jewelry sets are actually inherited down from, like family members and things like that. However, this one is, I don't know if you recognize it, this one is my very own replica of Princess Diana's The Lover's Knot tiara.
That's beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous.
I was
Yeah.
actually just about to ask, so whose crown are you wearing today?
Well, I was going to wear one of the family ones that I have, but I just love this one. I mean, we can all agree that Lady Diana was exceptional with her style and with everything that she did. She led with grace all the time. So I just wanted to sort of channel her a little bit today. So I went with pearls, and I went with the matching tiara with the pearls as well.
Oh, fabulous, darling, fabulous.
Looking all nice.
Queen D is already ready for the palace.
I tried today.
Again, the earrings are sensational, Queen D. They always are.
Yes.
Oh, thank you. This is a sign. This is a clear sign. Now I can't fight the signs anymore. I need to have an earring business.
Oh gosh, I will purchase
Exactly.
everything.
Oh my
We'll
gosh.
just come to her place doing some shopping, not even window shopping. It's going in
Shopping
shopping properly.
with the card in hand. Thank you so much.
Yeah, cool.
They look very beautiful. We're happy to buy all of them.
Yeah.
All right, Queen Ash.
I was going to say, Queen D, do you have a question?
Yeah. I think let's talk, I'm so glad. I know this is fun and everything, but we're actually passing a really good message here. Somebody says, their son has AGI, and they ended up having kidney disease as well.
Mhm.
I suppose he sort of just wanted to let us know. That's why they're asking all those questions. That'll be one of the causes, obviously, in childhood. It's lots of multifactorial reasons. So you've already talked about the research body that you represent, the organization. Are you working with any other communities, any charities? Feel free to name all of them so we can write them here. And then, of course, if people are looking for resources or looking to support or looking to anyway educate themselves, we can go check them out. So just the communities that you're working with in terms of kidney failure.
Of course. So actually, to your surprise, I don't just support kidney charities, because as a royal lady, you are required to support a minimum of 4 charities. However, I support 12. By choice, I support 12 of them. But my main ones, I will give you my main ones to plug, of course. So my first one being obviously Kidney Research UK, as I'm an ambassador for them. And then secondly, which is quite a heart-touching one, and that is the Luca Foundation. Now, the Luca Foundation was set up by an absolutely incredible lady whose name is Sharon. Her charity is all about baby loss. Sharon sadly lost her baby. He was stillborn, basically. His name was Luca. So she named the charity after him. So what they do is the Luca Foundation specialize in maintaining and the keep up of something called a cuddle cot. Now, I'm not sure if any of the ladies here know what a cuddle cot is. Now, a cuddle cot is an essential piece of equipment, a groundbreaking piece of equipment that can actually, it's a very difficult topic to talk about. It's a piece of equipment that can preserve a baby's body for up to a week after they pass, so that their families and their parents can have some time with them before their funeral and things like that. So that's a second charity that I'm very passionate about, and I hold them very dear and near to my heart. So that's the Luca Foundation. Yeah. Oh, sorry, Queen D, it's the Luca Foundation.
Or the Luca, Luca?
Yeah.
Okay,
Luca.
Okay, all right, thank you.
And then my last two, because I will give you four. So my last two are obviously Alzheimer's UK and Dementia UK, and that stems from having experience with my grandmother, who went through her long battle with both dementia and Alzheimer's.
Right.
So those are my four main charities that I support.
Thanks, Lady Rukhsar. And for somebody in the audience who's going to be finding out about them, how do you want us to support or even conscientize people about them? How can we best support your altruistic activities?
I say just if anyone, obviously we have the plugs there and things like that, but I would urge anyone that has a platform, that has Instagram or even internet access, go and check out their pages and read a little bit about what they do and what they stand for, read about their causes and things like that, and then just see if, you know, it is a cause that they want to be behind, whether they want to support them, whether that be financially, whether that be, you know, just spreading awareness for them. Because essentially what I did to start off with all of my charities is just spread awareness for them, basically. But then I started supporting them financially and attending dinner galas in their honour and things like that. So, you know, it's always good. So I would just say to anyone that has a platform out there, go and search up these wonderful charities and read into what their causes are and how you can best, you know, support them or just raise awareness for their cause.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing that with us. Go check them out. Just to go through them again, Lady Rukhsar just said the first one is the Kidney Foundation UK. There's the Luca Foundation. There's the Alzheimer UK, and there's the Dementia UK as well. Go check them out. We're going to be sharing Lady Rukhsar's handle here at the end of the show. And of course, we're going to be sharing her details after the live as well, just so you can go on her page, peruse the charities, and do whatever you can, even if it's just a 5-kilometer run or a walk in the park, or even posting them on your story or on your wall. It goes a long way. Thank you so much, Queen Edge. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Quinty. You know, when you were talking about the charities that you actually work with, I just remembered I worked with Sanders charity, which is basically a charity that helps families that have had stillbirth. And so the options when I started working with them were to either visit the families that have actually lost a child, or you do fundraising. And at first I thought, I love networking, so I decided it was okay for me to go visit. But I think when I made that decision, I didn't realize how much it would affect me as a person. And so half the time I would take the whole situation back home, and then I realized I was not doing any good. And then I then started doing the fundraising side. But I do actually, you know, salute everyone that works with such organizations, because it takes a lot. It takes a lot. Well done, my lady. So I think I would like to give you the opportunity to ask us questions, because you went on about it yesterday on your live.
Oh
You
It's a whole A4 page.
I'll be back in like 2 hours. Coming.
Of course. So, first of all, I have, so I have one question for Queen D and Boss Queen, but then I have a separate one for Princess Ash, if that's okay.
Oh my God. I like how you actually made time to actually do this. Who told you we were going to give you the time to actually ask us questions?
She's been watching Live Queens, she knows.
I'm happy for Queen D to respond for me.
Okay, go for it, my lady. It's all yours.
Okay. So, my first question to both Queen D and Boss Queen is, what has been the most difficult part of your journeys since starting pageantry and Live Queens?
I'll go first. It's always better to go first because it's going to be more difficult for Boss Queen.
Thank you so
Um,
much.
I must say, for me personally, I came into Africa, UK, and Ireland knowing nothing about pageantry. To be honest, I was one of
Mhm.
those prudish people. Like, if there was a pageant show on TV, I'll be like, oh my gosh, let's go to a documentary. And I was absolutely unaware of just how much of your true self it reveals. It gives you the opportunity through those assignments, through the work, through the interactions, to peel away all of those layers that we've been buried under being sort of the perfect person that you think you are. It forces you through many activities to actually go to the core of yourself and make really genuine, meaningful connections. So I think for me, as much as it's been a journey of charity and community and empowering others, I have been absolutely empowered in so many ways. But through empowerment, of course, you have to go to parts of yourself that you sometimes you're not willing to address. And I think it's just been a balance between um, being your genuine self and not overstretching yourself, also in terms of helping others and finding and navigating those ways of finding yourself without losing yourself, if you know what I mean. And I think it's sort of the same for Africa UK pageant, but more so for Life Queens. It's taken me to places that I never ever thought I would access within myself, outside myself, within my own community. I mean, testament to that will be something that happened in my village this weekend with a prom. That even though I do a lot of charity somewhere, I would be sort of a little bit careful to not go back home to my community to help there, because going there forces me to find those parts that I'm not willing to find. So
Yeah.
it's a bittersweet journey, but more beautiful than painful. So that's me.
Yeah.
That was
Thank you so much.
really,
Thanks.
oh, very beautifully well said. But now I'm sat there thinking, well, what was the question again, please,
You know the question,
lady?
boss queen, don't play games.
No, I mean it. I was listening. I was listening to you. I would like to have the question again, please.
Okay, so the question was, what has been the most difficult part of your journey since the start, like since you started, like pageantry and
Yeah,
things?
thank you so much. The most difficult thing is, well, I'll say navigating oneself, time management, and accepting individuality as well, people's, different perspectives on people, as well as, yeah, things, seeing things from different angles, but also trying to understand yourself and being present. It has been very challenging as a boss queen, but also I love challenges. So in this sense, it's like learning by doing for me. And yeah, this is also my first time being a live queen, and taking that time. I have now even learned to take this time more as a self-care time rather than a work time. So it's like I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to that. It was in the beginning very challenging, navigating it with work, navigating it with other personal life. But I've come to terms with it, saying, actually, you have to see this one as a self-care time for you, in order for you to enjoy, because you're seeing your sisters, you're just having a cup of tea, having very meaningful conversations, and yeah, changing people's lives at the same time whilst being changed. Because I mean, even today, I've learned a lot from you. Thank you so much. And yeah, I think it can only get better. It's always a challenge, but I mean, we always getting out empowered. So I love the challenge. Thank you.
Great. Wonderful. And then I had a separate question for Princess Ash. So that question
I'm not
is,
too sure why, but okay.
Because we finished all the answers, Mama.
And
It
we
was
hope
going to be
it's very,
difficult for you.
and we hope it's much difficult than the one we just had, please.
Sorry, Eliza Rocha. Okay, I'm ready.
so my question for you, Princess Ash, is as second princess, what is one of the most wholesome memories that will always stay with you throughout your journey?
Wow. I think the connections that I've made. I have made some amazing connections, and I think for me as a person, I have grown. I've gone out of my comfort zone way. I've done things that I never thought I could do. The old me, like sometimes I get to think about the old version of me, and then I think about the new version. The new version has just, she's a bit more calmer. She thinks before she talks, I must say, nowadays. But the old me would have been. Quincy doesn't agree with that one, but
Question mark.
But it's okay. You know, I mean, not everybody has to agree with you. That's another thing that I've actually learned and that I embrace a lot. As long as I know that I'm doing good for me, for my environment, for the people around me, I shouldn't feel bad about what anyone else thinks or does, because that's not who I am. Sometimes people project who they are to you, but nah. So yeah, I think for me personally, it's there's a lot. Yeah. I think I've just grown. I have grown. And my connection.
Self-growth, personal growth.
Yep.
Wonderful.
I think I don't know. Well, how has it been for you interviewing the Live Queens today?
It's been great, actually. I was wondering, because I spent actually ages trying to figure out what questions I would ask, because you all seem very, strong, very on the ball all the time. All of you queens, Queen Khadija, and every single one of you, you all seemed so focused and so on the ball. So I was finding it very difficult to come up with these questions, actually.
Do you have any more questions for us by any chance?
There's just one that I have. When can we come and see your earring collection, Queen D?
Please take me with you.
Oh my God. Oh, you know what?
We can go together.
Yes,
Going to make it happen. I'm gonna make it happen. You know, Live Queens is turning 2 in June next year. We're planning to do we're planning to do a function in Ireland. I think when that function happens, there just needs to be earrings everywhere from all the countries, all the colors, all the designs. So that's a challenge for myself. So you will get to see the collection, and if the universe has not spoken clear today, it's clear. I mean, it came from a lady. A lady is telling me that I need to do something about this earring situation. So noted and noted and noted. There is a question here for you, doctor, sister, not doctor. I'm the doctor, Lady Rukhsar. Dr. Lady Rukhsar. I mean, you're talking so much about kidney failure. From Queen Khadija, and it is about Mrs. Africa, UK, and Ireland. She says, so the registration for Africa UKIE is opening in November. We're expecting you to grace us with your presence representing the African continent. I believe it's Egypt, the country that you resonate with.
Yes.
Well, there it is open. It's open. It's there for you to decide what you want to do with it, Lady Rukhsar.
Okay. I will keep that in mind, and I'll try and see if I can
Maybe you
I
could
can
start
free
by
some time.
attending the finale in September next year.
Oh, what day is that?
I
I think I
think
saw a post on it
the
today,
11th,
actually.
the weekend of the 11th, 12th.
Yeah, that weekend in
Okay.
September, second weekend in September. That's the Mrs. Africa UK Ireland finale in Manchester, same venue, just a different date. So put that in your diary, madam.
I
Venue is
shall.
Mercure Hotel. Mercure Piccadilly. We're already gathering all the information so that you don't have anything to ask.
Lots of love here for Lady Rukhsar as well. Isa _M Rawabde says, my beautiful princess. Maybe that's to Queen Ash. And that's when we were just naming all of the foundations. And he went on to say, "May God bless you, Madam Noor." And where does the Noor come from, by the way? Because sometimes you go by Noor, sometimes you go by Almahraqh.
So Almahraqh is my actual family name, so that is my surname. Noor is my middle name.
Ah,
Ah,
okay. All right. Okay. Fantastic. And Collins from Met Calling Events Decorations was laughing. I think we're joking something between me and Boss Queen there, and Queen Rio also just sending comments there. Queen Khadija was just saying, Lady Rukhsar, where's my question? We got back to it there eventually. Landini, JJ Murphy says, "Hi, Lady Rukhsar. Bravery and courage amidst all the pain and heartache, strength and abundance. Keep up the good work. A true ambassador." And he's clapping his hands there for you. So that's from
Thank you.
Landini sending words of encouragement. And it's underscore Nini say, "Hey, Lady Rooks, I hope you're okay." She's very okay. She's looking very good here. She's looking very, very well. Tigom says, "Your work has a lasting impact and your kindness touches hearts. You are a true champion of goodness." And we all agree here, absolutely. Um, Tigom says he's going to be at the live quiz event with a card machine for those earrings, ladies. And
I
Queen
will
Z,
practice.
thank you.
I will practice.
Okay. I'll remind you that later. So we've heard it here on Live Queens. I'll be playing this live in your face. And Queen Z just saying Neuro means light. That's sort of what it
Yeah.
means in her language there. Queen Khadija says, "Lady Rukhsar, which African country have you visited?"
I have actually visited Tanzania.
Where?
And yes, I visited Tanzania. And also my one of our friends recently had his wedding. I forgot where it was. I think it was in Zanzibar, actually, somewhere. So we visited there also. And then obviously Egypt and Morocco.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Queen Ash.
thank you, Queen D. Shall I give the Queen of Plugs to Boss Queen today?
Thank you, Queen Ash. Of course, we have various plugs. Today, on the 19th of October, Project Salama is organizing a fundraising gala a la Hollywood glam. All dressed up. Please come and enjoy. The tickets are on Eventbrite. And then on the 26th of October, there's also an event called Women in Business Empowerment. Is it a program in Manchester? And as Princess K already mentioned, Mrs. Africa UK 2025 registration opens by the end of this month. And on the 30th of November, there is also the 27th Miss Commonwealth and Caribbean Grand Finale in London taking place. Also, all the tickets via Eventbrite, or one of us can be just spoken to via DM, and we can navigate you to the tickets, to the people who are actually selling them. And last but not least, Social Butterfly End is organizing an event of Black History Month celebrating women in industry. That will be on the 31st of October in Manchester at the Eagle Bar. I think that's all that I know of now. Thank you.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Queen D, would you like to do? Oh no, we didn't do Lady Rukhsar's plugs, did we?
Lady Rukhsar, I've just put on your IG there. I've just pinned it. That's at Lady_Rukhsar_Almahraqh on IG. Are you on any other social media?
Um, I mostly use Instagram, to be honest. I do have my Facebook account, and it's exactly the same thing for my Facebook account, just Lady Rukhsar Noor Almahraqh on there. But yes, mostly just Instagram and Facebook, yeah.
Fantastic. Are you attending any events or organizing any charity things that we might see you at if somebody wanted to see a real lady in real life?
I am actually thinking of attending some of these events mentioned, actually. I mean, if I can get tickets and attend some of them, I would definitely love to. But on my side, I think as we're entering into autumn and winter, I don't think there's many now, because Kidney Research UK have done all their summer activities, transplant games and all the bridges walks and things like that. So I don't think I have any personally coming up.
Okay,
I know I
then
have a
you're
dinner galas, but other than that, that's it.
then you're more than welcome to come to ours, because I think with us it's almost all happening at the same time. You almost have to squeeze in your event dates in there just to be able to to do an event. Thank you so much. Queen Ash, at this stage, should we maybe introduce somebody who's coming next week Wednesday?
Yes, please, Quindy.
Okay, absolutely lovely here today. And by the way, Lady Rooks, I'm going to be asking you about your favorite book in a minute. So just while you're thinking about it, I'll introduce the next week's guest. We're back again at Life Queens. Wednesday, the 16th of October, we're going to be interviewing a lady all the way from Zanzi for sure, South Africa. Her name is Victoria Dube. She's doing her pageant journey in South Africa at the moment, but she's a huge advocate for people with disabilities. She's an educator, and she is a big advocate for gender-based violence, which is a little bit of a problem, unfortunately, in South Africa. She's going to be joining us here next week, talking about what her journey taught her, what her assignments have been about, and also just talking about those issues that she feels strongly about. Victoria Dube is her name, and come back here next week, 7 p.m., same time, at Life Queens. Thanks, Queen Ash.
Thank you, Quindy. You know what? I must admit though, when Lady Rukhsar, when you started following me on Instagram, I remember I looked at it and I said, no, I can't have Royal following me. So I looked at it again and I said, oh my God. And then I started jumping. I ran to the kitchen and I came back and said, oh my God, okay, this is the time when I actually follow her back.
Oh my God.
Oh, bless you.
Oh, actually, too funny. Too funny.
Oh yeah, Quindy, you were asking her about the book.
Yeah, so Lady Rukhsar, we're starting something at Life Queens where we're starting to sort of grow roots into different parts of ourselves. So, you know, myself and Queen Ash, and I think even Queen Khadija, we've talked books. Queen Hirani is thinking health, youthful glow, we'll probably be talking fashion or something, or social work. So, do you have a favorite book of all times, or even something that you're reading now, and why is it your favorite book?
So I very rarely get time to do anything, but I do read. I do find time to read. So my favorite book of all time is that of Queen Elizabeth II. I have a book of hers that has different quotes that she's lived by and that she's used on her own personal growth from when she was crowned at such a young age to develop into one of the world's greatest monarchs that we've ever seen. So that would be the book I had here next to me, I think. Let me see if I can get hold
Is
of
it the
it.
basis for Queen Charlotte in Bridgerton?
Yes.
It's actually really
About to mention.
Okay. Is it autographed by the Queen?
mine is not, unfortunately. Mine isn't. But it's called A Life of Grace, which is basically the life of Queen Elizabeth. And it's got a lot of, it tells you about when she was the princess, before she became a queen, and, you know, how she had to do a lot of personal growth as well, going through that transition in her life after her father passed away. So this is one of my favorite books. And there are some quotes in here that I've actually used myself in my own journey in personal growth since having my ladyship title. And there are some of my sort of mannerisms and things that I've taken from this book and incorporated into my own approach into my own journey. So yeah, that is my favorite book.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Lady Rukhsar. Thank you for sharing that with us. Beautiful, beautiful. I'm gonna go back to Queen Ash, maybe for motivational words, and we're gonna do like a pearl check just for the gram. Lady Rukhsar, you
The
need to bow
pearls
down
are
and look for the
purling.
crown. Let's see that crown.
I've also got them on my list too.
Don't
Yes.
y'all make me go back to Queen Mother and start complaining about Miss Youthful Glow crown and stuff. Please don't try me.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you so much. Thanks, Queen Ash.
Okay, so I think we can all give one word, one inspirational word before we leave. One word or one quote word. Let's start with our guest tonight.
Okay, I planned this out as well. I have it written.
I like your style, Lady Rukhsar.
When I know
You
that
had
I'm
that
doing
with us
something,
too
I
long,
plan ahead.
eh?
I plan ahead. So my quote, as an inspirational quote, is something that I've seen recently, and that quote is, "A flower does not think to compete with the flower next to it. It just blooms." Hopefully we all know what that means.
That's
Absolutely.
deep.
Resonates so deeply, so deeply.
That
Thank you
is
so much.
deep.
Yeah.
I felt
Yeah.
it. Gosh.
Very nice.
Okay. Buzz Queen.
Today I'll go by two words: raise awareness. The word raise in my work, it stands for the values that the organization stands for, but also what we stand for as the worker generally. It stands for respect, acceptance, RI, integrity. Oh no, now oh S&E. It will come back. I can't remember. Wow. But yeah, raising awareness. It's just yeah, today just makes me, because of what Lady Rukhsar stands for, it just made me realize that actually no matter what you're facing, you can just get up and raise awareness. You could get up and make a change regardless of the situation. Yeah, thank you.
Of course.
Thank you, Boss Queen. Queen D.
Thank you so much. Mine is it's a quote that resonates very much with Queen Yanela from Africa, UK, and Ireland. It's health equals wealth. And health is not just, there's actually a medical term that they teach us. They say health is not the absence of disease, but it's sort of rather just a true encapsulation of physical, mental, and emotional health. So health is wealth. Take care of yourself, um, all around. So eat the right things, think the right things, surround yourself with the right people, because that's in there lies a lot of wealth. Thanks, Queen Ash.
Wow. My word would be kindness. I think in any situation, be kind to anyone that you meet, because people, we don't know what anyone is going through until you actually sit down and talk to them. Even when you do talk to them, it's so easy for anyone to say, "Hi, how are you?" And I would probably say, "I'm fine," but literally, I'm not fine. So we need to just always be kind.
Fantastic. Queen Ash, can I give a young shout out? I'm sorry, I just want to give a young shout out to Queen who's in the audience here. It's Style in the City. It's Ngozi. I'm going to try and pronounce her surname, Onwucheka. She came to our finale. She was one of the judges. I think she entered, yeah, she entered Miss Great Britain. She has a beautiful TEDx that she released about 3 weeks ago. It's on YouTube.
Oh yeah, watch it.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
go
me too.
check it out. I did a link of it at Live Queens this weekend. But she talks about how she fought her fight, the battle with, I think it's a sarcoma. It's some sort of a soft tissue tumor that just destroyed her whole body to the point where she lost her hair, she lost literally her part of herself. And she shares about just how she overcame that, and she speaks very much what resonates with what Lady Rukhsar said here today, what you do on the other side after survival, because survival is just the beginning. You know, what behavior you mold and what legacy you want to leave after you've been given a chance. So, Style in the City, she is on TEDx at YouTube. Go check out her podcast and leave a couple of likes and comments there just to spread the message. Thank you so much, Queenesh.
Thank you so much, Queen D. All right, my lovelies, it has been an amazing, amazing time. Until next time, I think Lady Rukhsar is gonna invite us to her Instagram, I'm sure, live, because she did say she has got so many questions for us. So we will be looking in our inbox for that invite. Yeah. Until then, until Wednesday, shine like the diamonds you are, ladies.
Ciao, 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 ciao.
The pearl side.
Thank
Sorry,
you.
I had to do the pearl side.
Bye.
Bye, ladies.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.